Stevens, you investigated rumors about a top-secret flight loss investigation project in Area 51.
Yes, the rumors became a little more real to me in about 1978 when I discovered my first participant in the changeover of that base to a very special facility where they took up the runway and laid in underground facilities and special laboratories, and then relayed it and reconstructed the base to make it look just like it did before. The material that is now stored at Area 51, I believe, came from the Roswell crash in 1947, a crash at Aztec, New Mexico in 1948, and another crash down along the Mexican border in about 1949 or 50. The residue was first taken to Los Alamos and to other areas in New Mexico under the control of the Atomic Energy Commission, also super secret facilities. They were smaller, and I believe that the real facility was constructed at Area 51 when they changed over Groom Field to, it was a field on a dry lake bed, when they changed it over to become a special research facility. And I believe they transported the material that had been collected and held elsewhere to Area 51 about that time, at least much of it, for the research projects. Now that changeover began in about 1948, 47 or 48, probably early 48, when they modified the field, changed over the building and the facilities and put in a habitat where they could control an atmosphere for extraterrestrial guests, is my supposition now. And they also put in laboratories for research. And it's been expanded, been worked and expanded almost since that time.
You got confirmation from the military, didn't you?
Yes, one in particular comes to mind. Now, he's not in the military, but he ran several large military research programs here in Nevada. Very top-level programs, the highest classification. This is a person from a very prominent Nevada family, well-known. It's provable where he worked and the kinds of things that he did. He also confirms that the alien technology has been in Nevada since the early 1950s, that it was even here before the base at Groom Lake was built, that one of the reasons that the Groom facility was built is in order to test this alien technology. He told me that there was a live alien in custody for a number of years, that they had difficulty communicating with the alien at first, but eventually developed some sort of a communication abilities. He is reluctant to talk. He's worried about what will happen to his family, but he has agreed to give me a videotaped deposition that would be released only after his death. And I think when that comes out, it will not only confirm what Bob Lazar had to say, but shed a great deal of light on what our military, what our government has known about the alien presence for the past 45 years, including Roswell.
Las Vegas, Nevada, city of gambling, city of the 1,000 lights. And, what only a few know, gate to a world full of military secrets. Here we started our investigation into the mysteries of the Black World. Because behind the mountains, north to the glitter town, begins the Nevada test site. Nearly a state by its own. Surrounded by borders safer than any other border on Earth since the Iron Curtain came down. Nuclear weapons are tested here. The stealth fighter was hidden here. And much more exotic planes are flown today.
Wow! This is incredible! Astounding! Magnificent!
Our quest brought us to John Lear, one of the most successful and experienced pilots in the United States. The son of the legendary airplane designer William P. Lear has flown in over 16,000 hours, more than 160 different types of aircraft in over 50 different countries, holds 17 world speed records, and is the only pilot ever to hold every airman certificate issued by the Federal Aviation Administration. Since the Vietnam War, he has flown missions worldwide for the CIA and other government agencies, as well as many different experimental planes for the Navy and Air Force. Other insiders have told Lear about the secret UFO test flights in Area 51. But in 1988, these rumors became reality for him after he met a young nuclear physicist, Robert Lazar.
In the summer of 1988, I was having this house appraised, and the appraiser brought along, the appraiser was interested in UFOs, and he brought along a friend of his who was a scientist, former scientist at Los Alamos. The appraiser, being interested in UFOs, wanted the opinion of this scientist on UFOs, and at that time I was doing a lot of lecturing. There was a lot of publicity about me and UFOs in the summer of '88. So I met this gentleman, Bob Lazar, and he didn't believe it at all. He told me that he worked at Los Alamos on SDI. He had a Q clearance. He had a number of other compartmentalized clearances. He knew a lot of secret things. He said that if there had been something like this, some cover-up, that he would have known about it. So over the next 3 or 4 months, we got to know Bob very well. He got to know us, and we passed him various information, which he checked out with the people that he knew that still worked at Los Alamos, specifically people who had access to the classified library. I told him that Project Grudge, which the Air Force told the public was canceled in 1949, was still active. He was able to determine through his friends who had access to the classified library at Los Alamos that it was still going on. There was another thing that I had mentioned, that one of the aliens that we had captured were kept at a secret place called a YY-2 facility. He, in fact, found out that there was a classified mail stop at Los Alamos called YY-2. Now, that doesn't mean they kept aliens there, but it showed that I knew secret things that were going on. There was enough evidence there that he thought, well, maybe there is something to this, and he wanted to find out. So having the specialized, highly educated person that he was, he held 2 degrees, master's degrees from MIT, and also knowing Dr. Teller, who was the father of the H-bomb, he was able to send his resume to Dr. Teller, who then called him and asked him where he wanted to work. Dr. Teller proposed 2 places, either EG&G in Las Vegas or Lawrence Livermore Laboratories in California. Bob said, I want to work at Area 51. He didn't tell Dr. Teller the reason, but he wanted to get as close as he could to where we thought the saucer testing was going on. Well, during the next 6 weeks after that, he was contacted by EG&G. He was given 3 security interviews and 3 interviews on his basic knowledge. They were so impressed that apparently they went ahead and hired him. The first thing that I knew is on December 6, 1988, Bob came up here, as he usually did in the evening. I was sitting here writing checks, and he sat right in that seat, and I said, what's going on, Bob? And he said, I saw a disc today. And I said, I was so startled, I thought I didn't hear him right. I said, what? And he said, I saw a disc today. And I said, theirs or ours? And he said, theirs. And I said, you went to the test site? He said, yeah, I just got back. This is the first time I went up there. I said, oh, my God. I said, well, what are you doing here? I said, don't jeopardize your security clearance. Work up there for a while and find out what's going on. He said, no. He said, you've taken so much flack over this thing, people not believing you. I'm going to tell you exactly what I saw. And for the next 3 hours and 47 minutes, he proceeded to tell me exactly what he saw on his first trip up to S4 at the Nevada test site. And basically it was that, yes, we had 9 extraterrestrial vehicles. He told me a little bit about the power plants. He told me that he'd been briefed on the aliens that flew them. He told me that he'd been briefed on a number of other secret things. He told me that we, in fact, did have a secret base on the moon. He told me that we, in fact, did have a secret base on Mars. A number of things, some of which were so unbelievable, had I not known Bob to be truthful, I would have been very suspect. But I had known him for this period of time, and I had no reason to believe that he would tell me anything other but the truth.
Well, I had met Ed Teller at Los Alamos one day. We had a brief meeting and a talk. I had